This candle right here took someone's whole week of profit in about 4 seconds. And the crazy part, the news that caused it was already public, scheduled. Anyone could have seen it coming, they just weren't looking. So this video outlines the exact 4 places I check news when I trade NQ, in order. The calendar I check for every session, the free live feed I keep on my second monitor, and the accounts that move the entire market in one post. And at the end, I'll show you guys an account on Twitter that's basically a free Bloomberg Terminal, and a real one costs 25,000 USD per year. And this one is entirely free, and it's just seconds behind the actual terminal. Stay for that. Forex Factory is the first tab I open every morning before charts or anything. I'm not really here to read the news, I'm more here for the calendar, because the whole point is knowing when the market's about to go to shit, so I'm not in a position when it does happen. The first thing you gotta do is you gotta set your correct time zone. If you skip this, every single time on the page is entirely wrong, and you're gonna get blindsided by surprise news that wasn't really a surprise. Then comes the folder colors. If it's red, it's something like CPI or FOMC, and this is the stuff that prints those massive 200-300 points candles on NQ. Orange means it can move the market, yellow, ignore it. And the next thing you gotta do is you gotta hit filter. You wanna make sure it's USD only with red and orange folder news. Okay, that covers the scheduled news, but the stuff that actually catches people off guard is the unscheduled stuff, like random Fed comments, geopolitical headlines, whatever. That's financial juice. It's a free live headline feed, the newest at the top, and the ones that actually matter gets highlighted. So you're not just reading, but you're just catching bold lines out of the corner of your eye. And the underrated part that I highly recommend is an audio squawk. A voice literally reads breaking headlines out loud, so if I'm locked in on a trade, I don't have to look away from the chart, I just hear it. How I use it is my second monitor. Off to the side, all I do is just look over, and if the Nasdaq randomly does something that makes 0 sense with my levels, I just glance at the feed. The answer almost always sits right there at the top, and all you need is a free account, but for live data, I do recommend getting a paid subscription. It's not that expensive, and you could always use it as a deductible in your tax season. Okay, this one kind of sounds like a joke until it hits your stop loss. One post from Truth Social by Trump can move the Nasdaq over 100 points in seconds. It doesn't matter what you think about it. Policy gets announced there by Trump first. Before the press release, before any news site, before it hits any feed, it becomes the primary source. And if you trade indices, you have to treat it like one. And it's always the same thing. The post drops, algorithms instantly read it, and the market snaps. Headlines hit the feeds like 30 to 60 seconds later, and retail finds out after the move's already done. You're not really beating the algos. That's not really the point. The point is knowing why the market did what it did within seconds, so you're not sitting there confused, or even worse, making a move that has no fuel behind it. I don't scroll Truth Social. When policy headlines are hot, I just make sure it's open in a tab, and honestly, the account we're about to talk about reposts them within seconds anyways, which is the one I promised you. Alright, I'm sure you guys know what a Bloomberg Terminal is. It's $25,000 a year, and every single institutional desk has one. One of its biggest edges is its headlines crossing the wire the second they happen. This Twitter account called Delta10, also known as Walter Bloomberg, posts these exact terminal style headlines on Twitter almost seconds after they cross the Bloomberg Terminal for entirely free. Now, there's stuff like breaking macro, Fed speakers, earnings, and geopolitical events that happens in all caps in the terminal format, which is basically all instant. One thing you do need to know is the handle spells Delta with a capital I instead of a lowercase l. There's a bunch of fake copycat accounts that count on you not catching that, so make sure you have the exact handle in my description that I'll post. Don't just search it and follow the first result. My setup really just takes 2 minutes. You just have to follow the account, hit the bell, and now the headlines hit your phone like a text. You make a private list with just squawk accounts and keep them open as like a side column while you trade. And it's just headlines. Between this and financial juice, you're getting most of what a paid squawk service does for entirely free. That's basically the entire rotation. Forex Factory before the session, so you know where the landmines are, financial juice during, Truth Social when you have hot policy coming out, and Walter Bloomberg with notifications on 24/7. None of this really tells you what to trade, it just tells you when not to trade, and that's exactly what risk management is. All the links are in the description with the exact handles included entirely free. I hope this was useful to any traders who kind of don't understand how to effectively handle news yet And I promise you, this is all you need to become a successful trader in the news sector. Obviously, if you don't have an edge or whatever, you can't. But just make sure you're following all these new rules in trading, and you won't get absolutely banged in a trade where you don't know when news is happening. Thank you.